Hello and welcome to another edition of the OCVarsity Gridiron Show. Week 2, we are at Habra High School this week where the Highlanders have Mission Viejo coming up Friday night here at Habra. Dan, Steve, welcome to the show as usual, guys. This is going to be a fun matchup. These two teams are no strangers to each other. Dan, when you look at this one, there's some fun matchups going on all over the field.
Yeah, we just heard one good ones. I mean, you got a couple good, really great Mission Viejo cornerbacks, including Elijah Griffin, Mitchell, and then you got guys like Zach Fogel, a good quarterback, you know. And then, but you talk about matchups. How about this one? Christian Lavelle, middle linebacker for Mission Viejo, number 5, taking on Skylar Taylor, running back from La Habra, our OCVarsity Offensive Player of the Week after 7 TDs. Against Toro.
He had a school record 7 touchdowns rushing and 287 yards in that big victory against Toro that boosted him up the rankings, Steve. But when you're talking about Mission, Steve, they got a quarterback of their own, Joey Yellen.
Yeah, he was pretty good, and the running back, Jamari, was pretty good too with a couple touchdowns. And it looks like Yellen threw the touchdown pass with like all 4 different guys. You know, as far as like who's going to win this game, you know, Mission's going to come in as a favorite. This is a tough place for visitors to play because a natural turf, a lot of guys like at Mission, this might be the only natural turf field they perhaps play on all year. So that's kind of a weird deal for them. La Habra's quite used to it. It's really close confines, but I think Mission, they've got a really good player at every gosh darn position on the field. I think that gives them a big advantage.
All right, well, we caught up with the Highlanders earlier to see what they had to say, and we kind of found out if Skylar ended up treating the offensive line. So let's send it over to the guys.
Did he buy you like a snack at school or something?
Got me a double-double from In-N-Out.
You got both of us double-doubles.
You got the whole line and the tight end. Double-doubles from In-N-Out.
Skylar knows.
Skylar knows.
It's a La Habra tradition to play really good teams and get better from it, and it helps us in league, helps us in the playoffs. You know, last year we had the same tough schedule at the beginning, and we struggled with it, and it ended up proving that it helped us because in the playoffs we played real well. So I think that's what it'll do. It'll build our toughness and teach us how to play really good teams.
You know, we always want to try to play the best and see, you know, it's always a measuring stick for us. Also, we get a chance to see what, you know, a top program is, and we get to see it face to face. You can't talk about the toughness and you can't talk about execution and all that kind of stuff if you don't see it up close. And I think who better than a team like Mission Viejo, who's extremely well coached, very physical football team with great athletes.
Our thanks to the Highlanders for hosting us today. The next game we'll talk about is number 13 Capistrano Valley. They are at number 15 San Juan Hills. Both teams are 2-0. It's a Seaview versus South Coast League matchup. Dan, San Juan Hills, they beat Canyon last week 21-0. Flowers said, hey, we struggled offensively, and you know, we're not going to continue to win if the defense is going to carry us. And he's hoping that things change for the Stallions.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, I think Coach is right on. I've been wondering the same thing about the Stallions offense, and that's concerning this game because what is the strength of Capo Valley is their defense. They were one of the best defenses in the county. They got a lot of guys back, and they're super hungry for this game because last year San Juan Hills edged the runner-ups, CIF runner-ups. So this will be a chance for them to, you know, they're going to be at home and see if they can get that offensive clicking because you know that they're going to need the offensive firepower once they get to the South Coast League.
Capistrano Valley, I heard you just kind of say it off camera here, Steve. They could throw the ball. They got Nathan Manning. He has 5 touchdowns on the year. Is he a relative of Connor? Or am I reading into it?
No, he's not. But his dad, Tim Manning, was a great quarterback at Trabuco Hills. Dan, you remember that one?
Something about that Manning name.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's some guys named Manning can throw the football around this place down in South County. Capistrano Valley, I don't think they're going to struggle to score points at all. So if San Juan Hills has little trouble getting that motor going, Capistrano Valley should win this game. San Juan Hills' defense is pretty good. Yeah. You know, lost a couple good guys who graduated from last year, though, with Glass and so on. Mm-hmm. But they should still be pretty solid. But I like Capo Valley. In fact, this could be kind of a great year for Capistrano Valley football.
Final game we'll talk about, number 11 Corona Del Mar. They are hitting the road and will take on El Toro, who's 1-1, CDM 1-1. We caught Corona Del Mar, guys. They lost to Jay Sarah in the beginning of the year, but they did not look bad at all. They have some studs out at receiver, Taylor and Humphreys, and it's going to be fun to see them match up against El Toro.
Yeah, these two teams have been playing for a while, you know, and JT Murphy is a really good running back. Corona Del Mar, they're my pick in this game. They got the nightmare matchups at receiver, but El Toro's got some great receivers too. They've got a couple guys that are really starting to rack up some impressive stats. So this could be a great game. I think watch out. We mentioned all the receivers. Watch out for JT Murphy and that physical O line and D line for Corona Del Mar. They're not the biggest, but they play tough. And Jay Serra said that their line play, they couldn't get it going against Corona Del Mar, and you got to give the Sea Kings some credit on that.
Well, we talked about some quarterback play with Capistrano Valley, Steve. How about Cooper Jones? He has 10 touchdowns on the year. El Toro, always a strong team as far as quarterbacks are concerned. Steve, how do you like this one?
Well, generally when it's a running team against a passing team, I think if a team can throw the ball in high school football, huge advantage. I think maybe El Toro's got it there. But Corona Del Mar, I like the fact that may be able to grind it out with JT Murphy running the football. He's averaging about 110 yards a game so far. I think they grind it out, running game, good interior line play. CDM gets this game.
Being around that CDM team the last couple years, there's one thing that they're not, and that's soft.
No, they're not.
they're champions, and we all know that. All right, thanks to Steve Fryer, thanks to Dan Albano. I'm Jonathan Camus, and for all the latest high school football information, check out OCVarsity.com, and thanks for watching.